If you just give me a countdown, because you go 3, 2, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. 3, 2.
Supplement the welcome for. Oh, I was supposed to be 1, 2. I did it wrong. Welcome to the. Welcome back to the episode, the podcast. This is not sure what episode it is, folks. We got a big one. We're going over Clash and Party. We're going over Raw. Yeah, how are you, Jimmy? How are you feeling coming in?
Ooh, feeling beautiful on this beautiful Tuesday morning, ready to get after it, talk about wrestling. So excited for this past weekend. Got one title, and I think I won the other title.
I guess we will jump right into it. The predictions championship update, a closely contended match. It came. I believe. I don't know if I tallied up the final score, but for at least toward the end, it was like you were 1 point over or whatever. You had some smart picks. I can't deny you had some smart picks. But Jimmy, I think I've been handing you a lot of belts lately. I don't like it, but. Congratulations on winning the SCW Predictions Championship. Jimmy 2 belts is back.
Wow.
Look at that.
What is this?
Look
look
that.
good? This is, I feel like
Does look good.
I feel like Chris Jericho in 2001 a little bit.
I can't wait until 4 hours when I see this part clipped off on Twitter. See you cut out or some shit.
This is like having like 2 penises.
Sure.
Or
okay.
actually,
sure.
like two and a half penises, actually, because me already having one. And then these 2 guys. So 2.5.
Okay. So it's 2 additional.
2 3/4.
Got it.
Clash and Penis. I mean, Clash in Paris was fantastic. It was a good show, but I think elevated by the French faithful and made it a pretty good show.
Oh yeah,
fantastic
Paris,
crowd.
Yeah, it's a totally different story of a show if that Paris crowd is different. But yeah, so that's the predictions update, and the predictions. Obviously, the SCW Championship will be defended all week, but the SCW Predictions Championship will be defended, I believe, back to back. Honestly, probably at the same time, I guess, for WrestlePalooza and All Out. And I believe they're running at the same time. So honestly, it might just be like, one defense into one. Like we might even just run it like, combine the result. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when we kind of get closer toward
For Paris, you were streaming on the Stache Club Wrestling channel.
Correct, Mundo.
I streamed my own channel for about 2 hours or so. I had something come up. But like, what are you going to stream? Or do you stream one show? Do I stream the other? Or
we do a real Monday Night Wars thing. I'll probably do like a flip back and forth thing. Like, the Io Stephanie match is on. I'm going to watch that. I don't know, Okada versus da-da-da is on. I don't know.
Cope and Cage versus FTR.
Yeah, I'll probably watch Steph and but yeah, I don't know. It's when is that's the end of the month, right?
Oh yeah, September 20th, I believe.
Oh, it's September 20th.
No. Wow, you got plans?
Turnstile.
Oh. Wow.
Oh no! And there's also, I was bummed last night too, because Focus Pro's running a show on the 20th too. Which if they're running on the 20th going up against AEW WWE, that's crazy. I mean, it's just like not on purpose; it's just unfortunate circumstances.
We gotta clone ourselves.
Yeah, what the hell?
Damn. There's so much going on.
I'm sure you're right. I just need to double check that.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
I hope you're wrong. That is a Saturday. September 20th, you're right.
Oh, man.
And they're both like going to be at... this would have been perfect if one was running like... Because I heard that, I guess call it criticisms or whatever, that they were like, oh, Tony should have ran in the afternoon because he's going right up against WrestlePalooza. And then I guess like the rumor is like, oh, Tony's like, I don't want to be bullied anymore. So I'm going to run my show when I want, which I love. I'm going to run my show at night and just go head to head and, whatever. But
it's tough to go head to head though when you're missing 2 big stars like Will Ospreay and Swerve too.
Sure.
So what's he gonna cook up?
I mean, WWE on the other side, Roman Reigns had worked for like a month. And now he's written off TV.
A nice little tribal vacation once again.
Damn.
But Io versus Stephanie, and then maybe Brock for Cena rumored, and maybe Drew versus Cody. The WrestlePalooza, I think in the name.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be a palooza.
I hate the name. I don't like the name.
I like it. I don't mind it.
I appreciate it for it being like a little... It's ECW, right? It's a little throwback ECW.
I think it's goofy. I think it's fun. I actually, hot take, don't mind Great Balls of Fire.
I love Great Balls of Fire. Yeah, I love Great Balls of Fire. damn, I'm kind of just realizing all this now. That's a crazy. I mean, like, I'm not gonna go see Turnstile.
Yeah,
but damn.
And Focus Pro, how dare they, kind of jerks for counter programming AEW and WWE.
I know it's gonna be.
I want to go.
Genuinely, I know that, bro. I saw that because I was like, because you had such a fun time last time, and I haven't gone in like 1 or 2 shows. I'm like the next one I'm going to. What are you gonna do?
Triple booked, quadruple booked.
There's another one the month after though.
Okay.
So at least there's always another one. That's gonna be a crazy weekend. Okay, well let's get into things. Enough lollygagging, but we have a lot to talk about. First of all, you kind of were mentioning the crowd in France, which what a crowd, really good, and even leading into Raw last night, super fiery. The chants were great. I don't know if some people were getting sick of the supplement dub. I got into it every single time there was a 2 count. I was on stream going supplement dub.
What does that mean?
I looked it up. It means something like only 2.
Oh, okay.
Like you only got 2, or it's something
that.
like that.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a cold-blooded American at the end of the day. I hate to say it. I think that's the best WWE crowd of all the crowds.
It's that or Puerto Rico.
Oh, true.
It's that or Puerto. I think Puerto Rico might have. Puerto Rico has them, except for when AJ Styles was on the screen.
I don't think I've heard a larger pop before.
It was crazy. I have the note of what they were saying a little bit farther down here, but they were saying, I'm gonna butcher this, but il es vraiment phenomenal, which means he is really phenomenal. And he is really whatever they're saying it. Just like, I mean, like, we're kind of starting out bouncing around here, but how do you not, first of all, how do you not put that guy on Clash in Paris? Second of all, how do you not put that guy up against a John Cena?
The moment that would have
crazy, dude. It's great. And like, sure, like, AJ Dom was great. Paris was like booing the shit out of Dom, but like, also AJ lost. So it's like, it's crazy not to capitalize on some aspect of AJ Styles. And like, sure they did, they put him on Raw, but
Piper in Portland, Brett in Calgary, Punk in Chicago, AJ in France. Who would have thought?
But all right, we're going to jump all the way back to France, and we're going to start with the main event of Clash in Paris. A lot of stuff happened. It is the what I believe is going to be the title of this whole damn episode. First of all, we have Seth Rollins retaining the World Heavyweight Championship over LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. Before we get to, how Seth won it and whatever, talk about the match. I want to hear your thoughts. One thing to give LA Knight some credit, because a lot of this is also going to bleed into Raw. Small detail, but I really liked it during Jey and LA Knight's opening promo on Raw last night. It's something that a lot of wrestlers don't do, and I gotta give credit where credit's due. I love how LA Knight talked about the match. In the promo, he was like, he mentioned spots. He was like, we had the opportunity to put Seth through a table, and you stopped it. I was gonna drop an elbow to the announce table, and you stopped it. So just talking about things that happen in the match was like, it's something that you don't hear often, except, other than like, you hear like, oh, like you low blow. You hear about the ending, but you never hear like, oh, like you messed up this move that I was gonna do in the middle of the match, and like that. It's the bringing that, like, call it ring psychology or just call it ring.
The story of the
logic.
match.
Yeah, the story of the match. The logic of the actual moves and the actual, in-ring performance being brought in the promo. I thought was a really nice touch by Los Angeles.
And kudos to you. You clocked it right when the bell rang. Little ode to Shawn Michaels versus Triple H versus Cena. It wasn't the best kick in the world, but sure. it definitely set the tone for the match. And like, to me, it wasn't that shocking considering how the previous Raw ended, where Jey did kick Punk, so it was a receipt. But yeah, what a way to start it off. And yeah, you clocked it right away. And I was like, I was watching your live stream. I was like, yeah, Shawn, let's go.
I loved it for who Jey Uso has been, kind of like the plucky baby face and whatever. And like we saw that bit on Raw where he kind of, went at Punk a little bit, and him to keep that aggression going, start off with a super kick. And again, to LA Knight's credit, is he was like, we could have done this whole match 3-on-1.
Yeah.
But then, and sure, I think that's, maybe it was that a mistake on Jey? Was that not? I honestly honestly like him being a lone wolf and like hitting that super kick on Punk. And then, the perfect, like, they nailed the camera shot with like same camera shot they had with like Shawn Michaels' side of the face. And then Punk kind of like fell out of the ring, very similar to like how Triple H did. And I thought that was a really cool ode. I like that a lot.
A little bit too, though. It was kind of played out storyline and on commentary. It was Jay being kind of having Roman Reigns in his ear a bit, saying, "Hey, do not trust CM Punk. Do not trust LA Knight. You're your own man." And I think that had to do with Jay kind of wanting to be like, yeah, I mean, given that we could have done a 3-on-1 throughout the whole match, but I'm here to win my world title, so that was nice to see. They tried their best to all work together, but like you said, a few times they couldn't help themselves, right? I thought it was a pretty good match. Everyone delivered. The caliber of the talent in the match, I thought really was the upper echelon. These are all big stars, lots of crazy spots.
I love the LA Knight bump on the announce table, the elbow drop. So good though, like he fucking bounced. That was my favorite spot. Like honestly, of the night is LA taking that.
Love catching the pedigree from the spear,
dude.
Big fan of that.
So and like it's so hard. Like if you don't do it perfect, it looks like shit.
It does.
But they did it so perfect into the pedigree. I loved CM Punk going through a table, and like I've never seen this before. The table just like half broke. It didn't fully break, and like
it went into business for itself
a little bit. I loved afterward, like when cameras kept on, which we're gonna talk about still more what happened after, but him just like breaking the table and just being like, I broke it. But yeah, I thought the match, I'd say it was probably my...
I mean, you have to talk about your tweet, though. That was so funny.
Oh,
no head?
So no head?
Iconic. I thought that was going to go mega viral. I thought that was...
I was kind of like... in my head, I was like, I got one. I was like on stream, and I was like, hold on, everyone.
Because it was exactly that.
It was so good. I wish I like got the clip. I didn't know how to like... I think Twitter fixed it. Like, you can't like tweet a video on its own from someone else anymore. I don't think you have to download it. I don't know. I'm not really sure how it works.
It's weird.
But yeah, a lot of people in the replies to that didn't know what I was talking about. Got a lot of youngins that missed that. Was that Vine?
I think that's definitely Vine. Yeah.
So we'll go to the end of the match here. Kind of the big talking points here. The Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed get banned earlier the night from ringside. And then I want to mention the Seth promo beforehand, because I don't know if I'm in the minority, but I like pretty much everything that happened. I like who came out. I like everything. But this promo with Seth Rollins in the back and on Twitter, and I was kind of being a little bit, maybe again, hyperbolic, but I referred it to a little 80s feeling of a promo. The only reason I said that is because like the background with the lights, like they were just in the hallway with all the fluorescent lights over them, and then Seth Rollins' tone just being just classic wrestler, being like, I don't need them. You think, which I love, because Seth Rollins the other day is Seth Rollins. He doesn't need the Vision. He's a world-class wrestler. He doesn't need help. He just has help. So I loved the promo of him being like, I don't need the Vision. I'm still Seth Rollins. Do you know who I am? I can do this. And it was a very just like old school feeling promo. And then to have that promo and then to lead into like the getting help was like, okay, but the promo was like, you could have just ran, like I get you can't do two things at once, but like why have that promo and then have, I mean, I get why, but like, you know what I mean? To me, it was a little like, I was fired up and I was like, but you're Seth Rollins. Yeah. But you said what I think.
Bit of a smoke screen to what actually was going to happen.
Sure, which again is like, I get it and is great, but like a little bit to me was, I don't know, I like that version of Seth Rollins. But
even like I'm sorry,
no, go ahead.
Kind of all over the place a little bit, but there was a, I don't think many people saw this. There was a show promo with LA Knight, and I think a sit-down interview with Jackie Redmond.
Okay, I saw it because I was on stream for an hour before. I could have sworn it started at 1. But
yeah,
go ahead.
But LA Knight, I mean, I think seemingly this is going to lead up to an LA Knight Jey Uso feud. I mean, I could be wrong given how Monday Night Raw ended, but LA Knight basically, and I think he really should have used this on TV more, where he was basically like, when I was coming up and rising to the ranks, and I had that 4-letter word that was, and everyone was going crazy. There was another 4-letter word that started taking off at that same time, yeet. And then, I was wearing those LA Knight sunglasses that people loved, and then who's all of a sudden wearing sunglasses too? And I thought it was a very interesting, point that he was making that kind of has some legs and perhaps could have some truth to it.
Sure. Yeah, they even played into it, I think, going into the main event too, where Jay was bringing up yeet, and then LA Knight stops. He's like, it begins with a Y, and it's 4 letters. And LA Knight was like, no. Yeah, no, it's good. It has, like I said, I agree. It has legs. So the Brawns get banned, and then in comes another black hoodie, dressed in all black person, slides in. Throughout the night, everyone was like, are they going to add a 4th member? Especially when the Brawns got banned. I was like, okay, they're bringing in someone. People were thinking a little Ethan Page. People were thinking Ricky Starks. People were
up in arms swearing to God, and they were so confident yelling Tony D'Angelo.
I don't know what. I saw that too. I saw that just as much. I was like, I guess. I was like, yeah.
I would walk to Paris and slap Triple H if Tony D'Angelo was the reason that Seth retained in that match. Respectfully to Tony D'Angelo,
and Tony's great, but I just don't know if he fits in the vision, because he's supposed to be the mob boss, and I don't know,
Yeah, that would be wild.
But
and I think that what did happen was predictable, but almost so predictable that it wasn't. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I agree. So to finally say the name as we've been teasing leading up to, but you all know Becky Lynch unmasks herself or whatever, is revealed, and then helps Seth Rollins retain, and then you get the final image of them kind of hugging and Seth holding the belt, and then Becky holding the belt, and then Becky taking the belt and doing a little Eminem sort of, what I mean? I love it. Twitter has been a crazy storm of hate of the two for the past 48 hours.
Oh, thank God I haven't been on Twitter then, because I loved it.
Oh yeah, Twitter hates it.
No, wow.
Twitter is ripping Becky and Seth apart. But yeah, I really like it. Again, I think to your point, sure, it's obvious, but pairing Becky and Seth, it makes so much sense. It makes too much sense to not do. Even just the fact that they, first of all, obviously they're married, but even the fact that they're a similar character. They both dress in this ostentatious, if that's even the word, way. You would think you would pair these two maniacal heels together that dress really crazy and cool, and it makes too much sense to not do. And I think we've just been waiting for this to happen, and it finally did. And I think it worked out. And then, so first of all, that's the first part of the story, right? And I personally like it. I'm a fan of it. I'm glad the Vision has a woman. I think that's a really cool part. And then the cameras kind of stayed on Punk. We kind of faded to black for the show, and we came back up, and instantly people are like, "Ooh, now Seth has a partner who's a woman, and he's still fueling Punk." I mean, just as blatant as you can get. CM Punk is up the ramp, and there's someone holding an AJ Lee sign, and he's looking at it, and the camera's not shying away. He's looking at it, and to the point, he even points at it, tells the person to raise it up. A little miscommunication. The person gives him the sign. He takes the sign. He looks at it, and I forget what he said, but he said something, and he verbally said maybe, or that's a good idea. He said, yeah, whatever he said, right? And he gave the sign back and kind of walked away, just interesting. And then just to kind of go full circle, even last night on Raw, there was AJ Lee chants, and Becky made note of them twice in that promo, saying she doesn't work here. I mean, how much more blatant can you get? I think maybe I'm sipping the Kool-Aid. I don't know.
Lita, CM Punk's ex-girlfriend.
I think we're getting the return of AJ Lee. I think it's they're making it so obvious. Sure, they did tease maybe a little Rhea Ripley, CM Punk, whatever. But you can't play into an AJ Lee sign, an AJ Lee chants, and
Big E on the post show was as soon as they went to the post show,
you're right.
I'm going to say it. AJ Lee.
You're right.
And like, rightfully so. I mean, he punched her in the chest many years ago, so I think it's rightfully so. But yeah, it just makes too much sense at this point. I can't freaking wait. It is gonna rock. That is gonna, and then. Do you think we get it on this upcoming SmackDown in Chicago?
Oh, right. So I'm glad you said that. So yeah, SmackDown is going to be at Chicago. John Cena is already announced. Just kind of a different piece of note there. And then CM Punk's backstage. And he's to Pierce. He's like, "Hey, where's SmackDown on Friday? Chicago. Interesting,
Which
I don't know.
Which kind of confused me a bit because, Seth and Becky are members of the Raw roster. They're not going to be at SmackDown, so why is Punk so curious to where SmackDown is? I mean, we probably, in kayfabe, knew that it was going to be in Chicago, so maybe it's going to be a nice reveal. Just a Punk coming out and then being like, I have my answer to Becky freaking Lynch. It's AJ freaking Lee. So maybe that'll be the iconic moment of AJ Lee returning.
Let me look up that segment because I think there was a reason why he was like specifically SmackDown.
Okay,
but you're right. Like other than I forget what it was. Let me just pull it. It's right here. Let me just pull it up right here. Let's walk in.
Where is he? He's gone. Where is he? Where? That way. Here's the good news. You know where he works. He'll be there on Monday.
You know where he works. He'll be there on Monday. Okay.
Where's SmackDown?
Isn't that kind of random? Isn't that just like...
Okay, you know what's... When I first watched it, I thought Pierce said, he's, you know where he works, he's gonna be there. Okay, that is very funny. I didn't clock that.
Hey, where's that other show? But...
You know where it's like, you know where he works. He's gonna be at Subway. Where's the closest D'Angelo or whatever, I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah, that's very funny. So I don't know. I guess yeah, it just circumstances.
I'm sure Punk the character knows that SmackDown is going to be in Chicago and whatever.
Yeah, very funny. Like, where's SmackDown this Friday? Chicago, really? But yeah, I don't know.
I think we have to get it then.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this in like a way of like it's too early. They need to wait on it. More so, like I would be surprised if they pull the trigger this early. If we get the teases. Does it happen at Wrestle? And like, this goes back to like, if we're talking about counter programming with AEW, it's a big get for WrestlePalooza is an AJ Lee return match. Now, is it a mixed tag team match? Is it AJ Lee and Becky one-on-one? I think out the gate should be a mixed tag.
Absolutely.
IMO.
Yeah. A returning superstar who hasn't wrestled in 12 years definitely could benefit from a tag team match, But
yeah, I don't know. I would be shocked. I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world. Like I'm not saying I'm not expecting it, but like, yeah, I would be shocked if like this happens so quick and then all of a sudden we get AJ Lee. Like that place is gonna lose. Like that place is gonna explode if that AJ Lee theme song. Let's light it up. Da, 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 da. It's good. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'd have not much else to say other than I didn't think we'd see as much as we didn't think we'd see CM Punk return. I didn't think we would see AJ Lee back in the ring, especially once like the past two Royal Rumbles kind of pass us by.
Right.
Like that was kind of like,
I mean, 12 years is a long freaking time.
12 years is a long time.
And perhaps though, to the point of like, this is WWE's first pay-per-view with ESPN and they want probably the biggest show possible.
Sure.
And I think some of the rumored matches are, blockbuster matches. What another blockbuster match is the return of AJ Lee. So that could be slotted for WrestlePalooza. Absolutely. So maybe that return on this upcoming SmackDown is going to happen. But we'll see. We got to tune in.
At this point, like, they can't do everything they're doing and not do it. Like, if they don't do, and they're going to, like, let's say, and I'm just kind of just to cover all the bases, because, like, I am convinced it's AJ Lee. But, like, let's say it ends up being, like, a Rhea Ripley. This is going to be a Daniel Bryan and Rey Mysterio in the Royal Rumble situation. Where people are gonna boo the shit out of the beloved Rey Mysterio or Rhea Ripley or whoever ends up, being in the AJ Lee spot.
Right. Like I joked saying Lita because Lita's a all-time wrestler.
Lita would get booed out of the building.
She would.
There's no one you can slide in there that people wouldn't turn on you after doing this much of a tease. But like I said, this is the most they've mentioned her. Like within the shortest amount of time in, like you said, the past 12 years or whatever. So yeah, I'm fired up. I don't know do you think? I know my guess, but do you think that leads to a run, maybe a la Nikki Bella, what she's doing right now, or think it's a one-off?
That's so hard to say because we just do not know her wants, her capabilities, or whatever. But I'll bet my bottom dollar that she's going to be coming back for sure for this mixed tag team match, and it's going to be electric.
Yeah.
There's always a plan, Lee.
It's always a plan, Lee. Yeah, I like that tweet. Okay. I kind of wanted to milk the AJ Lee segment more, but like there's not much more I can say other than just like I think she's coming back, and that's crazy.
Yeah, insane.
All right, let's move on to John Cena, and this is gonna be the other half of the show. John Cena defeats Logan Paul. This match ruled. I loved it. Again, you said you haven't been on Twitter, and I try not to make this a Twitter show, but I really don't do a good job at making it that way. Twitter hates it. Twitter hates Logan Paul.
I mean, fine.
Which, like, sure, 100%.
But
sure.
The match
was great. I started seeing like, people are like, and me included, as like, see, Logan Paul is a good wrestler. Like Logan Paul can go, and he's good. And people are like, just because you do a bunch of good moves doesn't make you a good wrestler. But in my head, I'm like, well, it's kind of a big part of it. Like it's not everything, but like being able to do cool moves well, it feels like that's a big part of being a good wrestler. Am I crazy?
Cool moves, massive heel heat, a good promo, fun entrance, and just memorable spots. I guess he's a shit wrestler.
Like fully, like, do I think he's not the most technical? I think he can work on, a lot of people are saying like, well, it's his
23rd match.
I saw this viral tweet that was like, this is why it's important to learn the fundamentals of wrestling. None of these people behind their keyboard know the first thing about the fundamentals of wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. We're like, sure, he's not the best at like chain wrestling or like real just like on the mat grabs, and he's not really a submission guy or whatever. And like, yes, like I can agree. He does kind of lean on like big spots and whatever. And he's not bad at it, but I think he does have a decent amount to improve in terms of his like emotion and storytelling. Like for sure. And I think that's the other side of it, where it's like, yes, there is like moves that are a big part of it, but like I fully agree. Like there is a psychology to it. There is an emotion and storytelling in the ring that like, I think those things he can improve on. But it's not like he's not terrible at those things. He's good at selling. He has facial emotions that like he does like pretty well. Like I don't know. And it's crazy. I hate that I'm defending Logan Paul. I hate that I'm the one to defend Logan Paul. That's crazy. I don't like that. I don't like doing that. And I'll say something crazy. He's better on the mic than 90% of the people signed in WWE. And people don't want to give him credit. I don't know why. And I get it. Logan Paul sucks and like da. But like, yeah, like it's great. I don't know. I'm curious where you're at.
He's not Kurt Angle or Bryan Danielson.
1,000% no. 1,000% no.
Not many people that have only 23 matches under their belt are. But he is just something of a special attraction.
Jinder Mahal won the WWE Championship.
Exactly. It's
Great Khali won the WWE Championship, or World Heavyweight Championship.
Exactly.
Not that's the other bad comparison, but you know what I mean.
It's unreal, and people just, and the thing is, part of it too, it's like with the online rhetoric, it's a popular thing to do, to criticize the fundamentals of Logan Paul, and he doesn't do this correct, or yes, his buckshot lariat isn't as good as Hangman's, but guess what? It's still a cool freaking move that he does too.
He does it pretty good,
pretty freaking good.
I'll go out on a limb and say this: there are some Logan Paul buckshot lariats that are better than Hangman's buckshot lariat. Yeah. Does Hangman do it better the majority of the time? Yes. I also do think because people are really honing in on that one buckshot in the match, Cena was too far. That's my point. I think Cena was a little too far. I think if Cena was more in the center of the ring, it would have been way better. But like Logan landed, and sure, he does put the emphasis in the flip. The flip is a little too extreme, and it's less of like, there's less power in his lariat, like for sure. I think if Cena was like in a better position, and who am I to fucking be like, John Cena should have been but as backseat, whatever as I can be, I think if John Cena was in a little better position, that buckshot would have been a lot better.
Let me ask you this: Logan Paul or Tiffy Stratton, best Swanton Bomb?
Bro, he pretty good one. He took a little page out of her book, huh?
Followed by a standing moonsault, which, I mean, again, fucking ruled. Sorry to say. But the real highlight of this match is, of course, big match Jonathan.
Yeah. Well, before one last thing, because I do want to go to one thing, and it kind of goes to I think what we're going to talk about is they pulled out some moves. They dipped in their bag, and then Logan hit in that like Cesaro. Like first of all, he hit
other
an
people's
uppercut
bags,
He hit an uppercut in the turnbuckle, and then he even did that, which it wasn't like perfect, but he threw him up for like the Cesaro whatever. Then go ahead. Talk to me about Big Match John.
Big Match Jonathan just pulled out all the stops. Of course, the ode to Will Ospreay owing AJ Styles with the Styles Clash. That was pretty funny.
So good. So good.
Cena's Angel's Wings. I think really a pretty cool tornado DDT that I really liked. A zigzag at End of Days.
Yep.
And then just, John Cena is, I think, really on this run saying, hey, sorry for that controversial heel turn that, some people say was bad. Some people say it was what it was. And he's now just putting on 5-star classics with the likes of Cody Rhodes recently at SummerSlam. And in this match, I would put it, I'm trying to get over the Askins star rating over the Meltzer star rating. I gave this 4.25, and it wasn't my match of the night. We'll get to the match of the night later, in my opinion. Okay. But this was a phenomenal match, and he pulled out all the stops, a code red even.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Just awesome.
Yeah, no, I really love this match. I would say, because in the sake of ranking it, maybe we'll even make this a video. Ooh, that's a video idea at the end of like ranking all of John Cena's match, whatever. Not all his matches, his retirement tour matches. I didn't like. You're not touching Cody Cena. Cody Cena was like on another level. I'd say this was like, I think this was number 2. I think this was the better match than the Punk and Orton match. The Orton match was great.
Yeah,
but
that had shenanigans, which that can kind of be minus or plus depending on.
I guess I'll say it's putting up a really good fight for the second best match of his retirement tour. But I wouldn't blame anyone for putting it.
And that's because the rules are right. John Cena's a good guy. Logan Paul is that shit freaking heel that everyone in every country hates, and that's why it's beautiful. It's why it works so well.
Yeah, it is like seeing this. And how Cena's been since turning back face and him getting to embrace the crowd and smile. And as someone who was a defender of the heel turn, I say it all the time, and I still defend a large part of it. I think the idea was there. Like I like a lot. I like a lot of it. But you see this, and it's like, why in the world did they even? Why'd they do it? Because like we could have been, and sure, hindsight's 20/20. Like if the heel turn like worked and it ended up being good, then like great.
And some folks would be like, "Oh, get over it," but it's like you hear that deafening noise,
it's
and then like you were like, "This is a retirement tour. We could have had this always for the last 6 months," but given like it was memorable, like Cena says, it was memorable TV, but yeah, this match was well structured, well booked, and thankfully there was no post match with Brock, or because I think a lot of people were saying, Brock,
I was expecting it.
Me too, a little bit, and maybe even to help Logan Paul win, which I think would have stunk. But thankfully, nothing. It was just a clean victory for Big Match John. Everyone goes home happy because this wasn't the main event, but maybe it should have. But phenomenal match. So thankful for this.
This was sick.
Yeah.
Two. I think one. I don't know if you saw the comments of Cena afterward, but like obviously him doing all those moves it's basically what you said, but he confirmed it. He was like, he basically said, I'm not going to face AJ Styles during this run. So because I can't face AJ Styles, and I think that was he couldn't maybe mention like a Cesaro or whatever, but like all the people whose moves they emulated, whether it was Logan Paul doing Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro moves, or John Cena pulling out AJ Styles moves, or other people. He basically said like, I did that as an ode to people because it's the most I can do because I can't face those people. Was expecting maybe a little spear from Edge or something.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't think Cena has a good spear.
No way Cena has a good spear.
Yeah, definitely not as good as Kairi Sane's spear.
I was just gonna say.
But if I can, and I might get some heat for this, but like if I can wave my little magic wand and make something very unique happen, I would love Cena. Again, like he has X amount of dates, WWE dates left.
Sure.
Well, let's say Cena has an open night on like I don't know when the show's taped or whatever.
Not like a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday or I'm not sure when this federation goes live. But imagine if John Cena turned up on the Impact Zone and face Nick Nemeth. And because again, a lot of love to Nick Nemeth, and you can't, like, obviously Cena can never go to AEW and have a thing of Cesaro or whatever, or Cesaro wouldn't be allowed to come here. But TNA and WWE work together. Yeah. What a memorable, iconic moment, Cena being in the Impact Zone.
I would rather that let's do that before the last match. Like I would like that if like, you know, all of a sudden on a random, or like Dolph Ziggler's holding like an open challenge or like whatever the fuck, and then like in comes Cena, big crazy moment.
Because I never really knew. I mean, I guess like, you know, Dolph and / Nick has been with the WWE since 2005, and I had really had no really idea that him and Cena were that close, but apparently so. I wonder if he's in the coffee group chat with them.
I don't know. Yeah, he was talking about. I think they asked him because I watched some of the post show, and they're like, you know, how are you celebrating, you know, your win, or what's the rest of your night looking like? And Cena went a little red and a little coffee in the morning, a little red tonight. Dude,
I swear to God, he will be the president of the United States one day.
I love just the idea of John Cena coming back from like what was a banger of a match with Logan Paul, going back to his hotel room, little glass of red wine, and then I love it. It's so sick.
Brilliant, man.
One more thing I want to point out of this match before we move on, and something I really liked about it, and like sure, some, you know, people critique maybe some of like the Logan Paul like more grap sort of wrestling. However, there was no crazy high spot in this. There was no Logan Paul putting on the meta glasses and jumping through the announce table. There was no big viral moment. They were in the ring for most of this match. Yes. They didn't do a crazy spot, like a crazy whatever to help a Logan Paul match or help, you know, oh, that match was good because that's one detail I really liked, especially for it being a Logan Paul match, is there wasn't a crazy viral moment spot. They were just like they just wrestled. They just wrestled and it rocked.
How about Michael Cole calling it the STFU too?
Oh, I didn't pick up on that, did he? That's it.
We're back.
Hell yeah. All right, we'll move on to Rusev defeating Sheamus, which I think this was the match that basically secured you the Predictions Championship. Rusev defeating Sheamus in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. This was a banger. This rocked. I like this a lot. Even though I did have Sheamus, I always even agree that like Rusev needed this win way more. I do think Rusev was the better choice because like you at least now have a stepping stone to do something with Rusev. The spot where they were on the beer barrels to basically kind of toward the end, and Sheamus hit the white noise through the tables off of the beer barrels was just money. I love this match. I thought it was great. What do you think?
This was my match of the night.
Okay,
the good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, 4.25 stars on the Askin scale. You know, just and then
you owe Sheamus an apology.
I do owe Sheamus an apology. He still has it, banger after banger. I did not think this was going to be my match of the night, and I was.
Isn't that the best? Like the one that you're not like thinking of, and you're like, oh damn, you know what I mean? Like that rules.
I mean, just the action. And again, it had a little extra bells and whistles. Sure. I do love an extra hardcore match element. I mean, you had kendo sticks, chairs, shillelaghs. Oh my!
Yep.
The slam into the bar. Rusev throws Sheamus into that like bar thing, the wooden thing.
Yeah,
brutal, absolutely brutal. And then the accolade on top of the whiskey barrels was just like I know there's somewhere out there a sick ass picture of that, and I would love to get that printed.
And then I think to end it again, the accolade with it, and a nice note. Sheamus ended up tapping out. Great note by Michael Cole. Apparently, fact check me. This is the second time Sheamus has ever tapped out in his career.
Wow,
that's crazy.
That's pretty dope. Dope.
I guess other times he has like he did the thing where like they pass out and call the match, but this is only the second time he's actually tapped out, which is like massive for Rusev. Like, you know what I mean? That's huge.
Was very disappointed though with the France crowd in this aspect. Okay. Zero pop for Rusev. They did not care whatsoever. But hopefully post match they did care because it was a phenomenal match. Where does Rusev go from here? You know that Raw promo he did the vigilante, whatever, not vigilante, vignette if you want to call it. Kind of said like maybe me and Sheamus could be friends now, which like we've kind of speculated maybe this could be a formation of of a tag team of the Ba. I'd be game for that. I mean, the Raw tag team division could definitely use some big men, meaty men slapping meat. So I mean, but also I think Rusev, this rivalry really ruled, and I apologize last podcast episode we did saying that for the Sheamus getting that victory over Rusev was a bad thing. It wasn't. I think Sheamus definitely deserved that victory, and it really added to this rivalry. That bro kick when they got back into the ring after the whiskey barrel spot, I thought that was it.
Yeah, they got me. They got me a couple times.
Yeah, so that was this was my match of the night, and awesome stuff.
Yeah, I want to run down like what our favorite, and you know what I'm thinking of too, which we can. Maybe this is a thing that we'll have to, maybe not for today, but to prep. But we could always do a what was your match of the week and what was your wrestler of the week. I don't know. That's something you're into.
I love that.
Always do that. We can do that. So we can do Jimmy's wrestler of the week, John's wrestler of the week, and then match of the week as well. And obviously, it's if you end up missing an NXT, it's just what you've seen that week.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
be nice if we can get that sponsored by a particular sandwich shop.
I know. I gotta send an email. All right, next we have Becky Lynch defeating one Nikki Bella. Wasn't great. As someone who, admittedly, I was excited for this match. I was kind of looking forward to see what Nikki was going to be able to do. I think Becky's in a great spot, and then just it just didn't really connect. What also didn't connect was Nikki Bella's kick that I don't think was on Nikki. I think that was mainly Becky being very out of place. But also, I think maybe like if you maybe see someone out of place, maybe, I don't know. I think it was mainly Becky being out of place with the whiffed kick, whatever. His match wasn't great. Unfortunately, the argument is maybe this one could have been on Raw and you could have done Stephanie Io, which great. I know you want a big match WrestlePalooza, but like the Stephanie match could have been on here. AJ Dom, not to just like, I do think there should have been more women's matches, but like if we're just talking match quality, women's tag matches maybe could have done something with that on this. I don't know. I mean, I get Nikki Bella is like a name, but I don't know. And not even discredit Nikki Bella. I like Nikki Bella. I do think there is a place for her right now, but like, it's just, I don't know. It was tough. I don't know. It was tough.
Lingerer. Ring rust. Stephanie Vaquero.
Sure, yep.
Died for this, man. She died for this. And then now we have this match. This kind of stunk the building. 1.5 stars on my scale. I think it was a lot to do with Nikki Bella having ring rust.
Sure.
She is a name, like you said, but not a name I really care to see anymore, to be honest with you. She's still around. She was on Raw last night, so there's going to be something else there. I think, too, they are definitely WWE that is, I think, if she's going to stick around, I think she might need to switch roles. I think the crowd, I get it. She has a fan base. The Bella Army is definitely a thing. But when you have like a part-timer come back and they are not, the best in-ring grab person, I think it's definitely a smarter idea to have them kind of play the villain role. I think it's also easier to play the villain role. And she to me does not appeal whatsoever to be a babyface. But I'll say this positive. Love the crucifix pin Becky Lynch. She pulled it out a few times, man. The way she kind of just like angles herself and gets a quick pin.
Cool.
But I also think though that might have been the wrong way to win.
I like the pin. My take was she should just beat her straight up. She didn't need the roll up. As she was beating her the whole match, like she did not need the roll up as cool as it was. That's my only like.
Yeah, I think Becky should have just dominated her. Honestly, she's the one that's still the active competitor and the women's Intercontinental Champion and the man. I think this should have been a dog walking booking wise, and that would have got sympathy for Nikki Bella too.
Sure,
but it was what it was.
My hope is that if we're keeping Nikki around, I hope that she has that prove it match, because she did. And granted, maybe it was just like disappointment on her face, kayfabe wise, because she lost the championship match, which I do think is like is mainly what it is. I saw people like clipping that of her just looking disappointed, and then putting like, she looks disappointed with her performance. And in my head, I was like...
The crowd is letting me hear it, too, a little bit. I don't think they were very supportive.
Sure. Yeah. But I do think we got to be careful with that, because at the end of the day, she is also in character as someone that did lose a title match. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that was my... It's definitely more so that. But I wouldn't be shocked if someone who seems like she's very enthusiastic about being back, I wouldn't be shocked if she heard that reception and was like, oh, damn. So I hope that, like... I hope sometime on Raw or like whatever, we get like a random Nikki match and she like shows out and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of my hope for the rest of this Nikki run.
And I forget what they were calling it, but she was doing the STFU, and they I think it's what the I'm not remembering it, but she did the STFU and they called it something else for her.
Fearless
lock or something
like that.
Yeah, and I'm no, that's the STFU. don't Nikki Bella.
The fearless lock didn't really.
Yeah, no, you don't got the pull to name a move that already exists. Come on now.
All right, move on to, we have the Wyatt 6 retaining over the Street Profits. Now, I'll tell you this, I'm not here to make excuses, but this threw me off. We had a little bit of a late addition here for the predictions. This like caused my downfall. I chose the Street Profits. I didn't watch SmackDown, so that's I didn't know the story going in.
Yeah.
Didn't watch SmackDown, and 3 points. I don't know what I was thinking putting 3 points out. Like I said, not making excuses. I'm just kind of saying what I think. You know, if I'm looking back at the tape, I'm kind of seeing like, you know, oh, I shouldn't have made that pass. You know what I mean? I'm just critiquing my own pick.
Sounds like an excuse.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying, you know. Why don't you go wager 0 again? I'm just kidding. Yeah. So I guess the story going in here was Bo Dallas kind of got in Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, mainly Montez Ford's head, about like, are you two really brothers? Do you two really trust each other? This, that, and the other. That kind of led to the story of this match being told of Montez and Angelo Dawkins kind of being a little upset at each other, not being on the same page, and that's kind of the story going in. It was a story going in, however. And again, as someone who didn't watch this on SmackDown, so if you did, I would love to kind of hear your thoughts on it. But to me, coming out in what was great matching gear, and then for the second half being very on the same page as a tag team, and it seemed like that was the story of the first half of this match, and the second half of this match, and maybe that's part of the story, is that they realized like, oh no, like we don't have anything to worry about. I thought they were going to win because of that. 'Cause I thought they were going to overcome the Bo Dallas getting in their head. So I don't know. It also seems pretty sudden, this little tiff between the Street Profits. There's a larger question at play here once we kind of get through it, but I do want to give praise to the Borderlands gear real quick. So I want to hear from you and what you're, because obviously you had the Wyatt 6 to win. Really curious what you think about the Street Profits and the kind of the riff going into the match. But do need to give a shout out to the super sick Borderlands gear. And yes, it was an ad. This is how you do it though. This is good. I feel like I'm a little critical, and I think rightfully so, about the advertisements and the in-your-face advertisements that WWE does with the mats and whatever. This, I'm a marketing person. I like good advertising, whatever. This is good advertising. I'm fine with advertising if it's good advertising. This is good product placement. It looks cool. When the Viking Raiders did it for Clash, for whatever that game was, that was bad. It looked silly. It looked stupid. This is how you do like ad or brand integration. That's my point. 'Cause I figure in my head, I can already see people like, that was an ad, and you hate ads. But yeah. It's good. It's Mad Men. Talk to me, Street Profits. What do you think?
Street Profits saved this match. For me, I put it.
I like this match a lot.
2.25.
Really? Okay.
2.25 stars. And I think Street Profits really saved it. It had some good spots. I think Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis are not good wrestlers.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
I thought it was very sloppy at points from them. They had a few botches in this match. I did pick them because they had a huge win at SummerSlam in that TLC match, and to me, it was kind of too soon for them to drop the belts. If you're going to give them that big of a win, that's kind of my thought process with that pick. But the ending, I like. Uncle Howdy getting involved and it kind of saving face with the Street Profits in that aspect. I don't think they're going to be breaking up. I think that was kind of to show that Bo Dallas is capable to getting into psychological warfare to other tag teams and getting in their heads and kind of divide and conquer, if you will. And they succeeded. But I think a lot of people are kind of looking at this and like, oh my God, they're going to break up. I don't think the Street Profits are going to break up. I think Montez is on record saying like they never want to break up, which I think Montez, you should probably want that. You have star potential, but whatever. The gear too. I hate to be negative Nancy. Dawkins did not look good in his gear. I don't think the white look was very flattering to him.
How dare you body shame?
As someone that also would have looked terrible in that gear. I mean, that's again my opinion, but But I do like, though, in terms of advertising, if you got to do it, make it fun and make it a tire based thing on a tag team like that.
Sure.
I thought that ruled.
The mask was. It's mainly I was like the masks were super sick.
Yeah.
And they both. It seemed like they both knew balls. I don't know if you played Borderlands, but like they did like the gun to their head thing, nice. And that's like they seemed like they knew at least a little bit of like the characters and what they were doing. But yeah, to your point about Joe Gacy and Loomis. I'm not gonna go out on the limb to say that they're not good wrestlers, but what as close as I can meet you is I do think there is a pretty significant talent. What am I trying to say? Gap, sure. Between the Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy and the rest of the SmackDown Tag Division.
Yeah,
like the rest of the SmackDown Tag Division is like so up here, and they seemingly can't keep up as well, is what I can definitely agree on. But
I just remember the last Wyatt 6 tag team match too. It was very clunky and there were some spots. And I think what it was too, there was a moment where there was like Dexter Loomis used, Gacy used Loomis as a weapon, and it just looked so bad. And there was a pinfall, near pinfall, where I think it was the referee. I think it was
this was their return match from being on hiatus. I think, right, is what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, no,
when Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy first came back, and it was on SmackDown.
They had a bad showing, and in this match there was a near fall where I believe the referee was Stephanie. I forget her last name. Very good referee.
Okay, she
was 1, 2, and she had to stop so much to not count the 3 because of bad timing or delayed timing. Which again, that could be on either team, but it to me it was a bit sloppy and maybe kind of fall out of the match a bit. But the Street Profits had a really good showing where Montez does the typical running into the post and jumping over it to the outside, crazy. And then Dawkins had a really good hot tag, so that got me fired up. And
Dawkins had a moment of he has these moments a lot where it's like people oftentimes he's with Montez will maybe look past a Dawkins. Dawkins is so good.
Yes,
Dawkins is great. I don't know. Like, he would need a little overhaul of a character to, I think, be successful in a singles division. But, he's so good in the ring. When he got that hot tag, like you were saying, they were pulling out crazy moves. They did the, I'm going to butcher the name, but some sort of doomsday device sort of move to kind of end it. I don't disagree that the Street Profits were the highlight here. And probably a big reason why I like this match so much, because this is probably my... and maybe because I didn't love, which we're going to get into a little bit, I didn't love Roman Bronson Reed, so I think maybe seeing this after was a little bit of a pick-me-up for me. But, yeah, ultimately, I agree with you. I think the Wyatt 6 retaining, it makes sense. They just got it. And, yeah, I don't know. I would rather the Wyatt 6 not be in the tag division. I would rather them just kind of... I want Bo Dallas to wrestle.
Yeah.
How come Bo Dallas and Eric Rowan don't wrestle, and those are the better, and Nikki Cross too. Those are the better wrestlers in the group, and they don't wrestle. I don't know what's going on with that. So yeah, I know you already said it, but so you don't think the Street Profits are splitting?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think it was just kind of showcase the psychological warfare and the attack of the Wyatt 6 and Bo Dallas getting the head, and then of course Nikki Cross was shooting to the finish where she grabbed the Montez's legs before he can get back in the ring, and then Bo Dallas hit the Sister Abigail to get the win. So I don't think they're splitting. No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I like the tease of it, but. Why ruin a good thing? The SmackDown Tag Team Division is so fun and so good right now. The Street Profits feel hot again. And I think if you are going to split them, Montez Ford needs to win that world championship within that year. You know what I mean? So if you're going to split them, you need plans for superstardom for Tez, or else they're both just getting lost in the shuffle of the mid card. And that can't happen. Montez Ford can't, as much as I love him, I love Andrade. Montez Ford can't become an Andrade or a Carmelo Hayes or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm with you. I like the split, but I don't think it's happening. All right, let's move on to the first match of the night. We are going to Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. Roman Reigns defeats Bronson Reed. It was a fun match. I think it was a solid opener. You got Roman Reigns in there. They had some solid moves. I saw a take, which I do agree with, where It was people can't appreciate a 3.5 star match anymore. Love that take.
That's literally what I gave this. 3.5 stars. Yeah. It was a fine opener. I think really benefited from the crowd being really into it, loving Roman Reigns, aura farming. That's basically what his gimmick is. I of course picked Bronson Reed to win this match, and more so just because of he's a younger guy, he could really benefit a lot from this. Now seeing the bigger picture, I'm not so butthurt about it. I think it made sense for Roman to win. And then of course what happened post match. But you combine the fact that the match and then the post match took up one whole hour.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
and like crazy. It was reminiscing to like many of the endings of the last 8 Monday Night Raws. So it's like I kind of seen this before, but I thought it was really well done. Yeah. Bronson Reed getting his heat back was momentous. Think of it as kind of the way it was booked a bit was kind of weird, where it was like I was watching Roman Reigns having Paul Heyman in the guillotine, which by the way invented in France. So I think that was a purposeful thing.
Like the actual guillotine or the move? Wow. That's sick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I think that might have been on purpose. Maybe not. Maybe I'm giving too much credit to WWE. But I'm watching that and I'm like, where's Braun Breaker? Or where's Seth Rollins? Why isn't he helping?
Let me run through some beats if we're kind of going. No, you're good. So yeah, I agree with you that it was very like main event to Raw ending, which like maybe I'm glad it did, because like this could have been if this was on Raw and the main event of Raw, this would have been like so sick. But anyway, so Roman Reigns ends up choking out Paul Heyman with the guillotine. He ends up taking his shoes back and he's holding them up, even like brings them ringside, and which I didn't love this part. They had to cut the laces, more so as a person that just likes a good pair of shoes. Couldn't untie the you had to cut the lace.
So I think like Paul Heyman was trying to get it undone and like was failing. So then he was on camera. So then he was failing to do so. So he started to walk away. And so there's something about the shoes being too tied too tight, which I actually came into issue myself because I did the whole shoe gimmick on stream. I put my shoes on, and then the next day I went to go leave, and I'm like, fuck, my shoes are all fucked up right now. So I understand it's an issue when you're. I can only imagine being on pay-per-view and struggling with that, but I don't like that either.
He's taking, and I love. He gets a marker. He's signing the shoes and tosses them out in the audience.
I thought I was going right to Post Malone and Jelly Roll.
Yeah. Oh, they were there. They cut to them a lot.
Too much.
And then Braun Breaker comes out of nowhere, hits a massive spear through the table. Ooh, baby. So there's fighting going on. Jey Uso ends up coming out. Jey Uso gets his ass beat, which I really like, because then that gives implications to the main event of he came to the main event all taped up, and I think got hit with 2 spears. Like you were saying, they had I'm kind of getting the timeline mixed up, but they kept the cameras on a long time when like the vision was kind of up at the top of the ramp, and they're really still on Roman and Jey, to the point where I was like, they're gonna cut to commercial or anything? They were just really on him. Finally, Roman gets into position. That Braun Breaker spear where he runs and he starts his jump 10 feet before the guy. Oh, that was sick. And then, as you were kind of saying, then they ended up very sloppily putting Roman Reigns in the
stretcher.
Yeah, well, not the what's like the
gurney.
Board? Is that what it's called?
Gurney, I believe.
Put him in the gurney.
Yeah.
And then the tsunami on the gurney. Did he hit 2 of them on the gurney?
Yeah.
Hit 2 of them on the gurney?
I think maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
It took a long time, but it was awesome.
Yeah, so they beat the shit out of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns needs another vacation, so we'll send him off. And obviously the implications for the main event is what we talked about.
And did you hear, because I didn't hear this, but someone in my chat was saying, and people were confirming it, but I guess like Roman had agreed to then join Jey at ringside for the main event.
Yeah. I forget when that happened, but I think it was either like earlier in the night or pre-show where Roman was like, I'm gonna be with you, I'm gonna be in your corner.
I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah,
like
cool.
that would have had a whole other dynamic to the main event, but then of course the injury right off. I'm like, oh, it's kind of not silly.
Roman's making 1 appearance and that he's no shot he's showing up twice. But yeah, this was great. I think it was a good start to the show.
Got his shoes back, but then gave him right back to the crowd, and then got a spear for his troubles. And I guess that is that the end of the Shulafala? Is that the end of the tribal thief? I don't know. I know they couldn't sell the t-shirts because I guess Michael Jordan said, "Hey, pal."
I saw that. Yeah. When I first saw that t-shirt, I was like, they're gonna get sued because it was literally just a Jordan 1 to Jordan 4. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you have anything more else to say about that opening segment.
I'm gonna miss Roman Reigns. Looking forward to the big return in a few months for Survivor Series. That's gonna be electric. Yeah. But I think Bronson Reed, though I really wanted him to get the win here. It's not the end of the world because I was kind of sleeping on it. I'm like, he did get his heat back right after with the 18 tsunamis with the gurney, whatever. And then of course too, I think the big money match is of course Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns. And would that have taken a hit if Roman Reigns had taken a loss to Bronson Reed here? Maybe.
Okay,
so
sure.
Overall, not too upset with what happened. I think it was, given it took an hour of the show, but I thought all of it was a great way to kick off Clash in Paris for sure.
Something that we haven't talked about, feels like it's been a long week. Sami Zayn over on SmackDown before Clash defeated Solo Sikoa to win the United States Championship. Ooh, whoa, people aren't happy. People are not happy.
Jesus Christ could come back and people wouldn't be happy. Given though, some of the criticisms, it's kind of silly that, Sami's been, on the quest to become the world champion for the first time ever, and it's like, you're kind of leaving Raw, which months ago you said you wouldn't leave Raw when Paul Heyman gave you that offer, and now you're going for the mid-card title on SmackDown. But like we said last week, I think the moment for Sami Zayn to do that, if it's the future plans, I don't know, but obviously Sami winning the Rumble in Saudi and then winning the title at Mania would make some sense and would be a special moment for sure, but that's 6 months from now. So what do you do now until then? And it's like, I guess SmackDown could have used, Sami Zayn. He's one of the greatest wrestlers in the world today, and him beating Solo surprised the hell out of me for sure, and made for a huge pop and big moment. And I don't hate it, but it's interesting to see the discourse online about it for sure.
Yeah, none of my conversation or thoughts about it are about Sami Zayn. I like Sami Zayn with the title. I'm not a Sammy Hogan sort of person. I think Sami winning it is great. Also, if you want to get him a Royal Rumble win, it's not a bad idea to build him up a little strong. I don't know why people have a problem with that. My thing more so, and I'm not even saying I have a problem with it necessarily, is it sucks. It sucks that Solo Sikoa this hurts him the most, right? He's supposed to be this heel leading this dominant faction or whatever, and he just keeps getting his ass kicked, and he keeps losing to Sami Zayn. He lost his title to Sami Zayn after a very short run. He beat Jacob at SummerSlam in the steel cage match. So I think more so the conversation is what could they have done better for Solo Sikoa? Could they have booked Solo Sikoa better? Could they have booked the MFTs better? I'm so over the MFTs. I'm not an MFT fan.
You're not going to like what I think they're going to be leading up to.
Let's see. It's War Games, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be MFTs versus the Wyatt 6.
Oh, yes. That's exactly what they're doing.
That's going to be a feud for sure.
You're right.
Lock in.
Oh, yeah. You believe me. You are right, and I'm not excited about it. If they do, which I don't think they're going to do it, but if they do Wyatt 6 versus MFTs in a War Games match.
Oh, God. No, they can't do that.
They can't.
No. They can't. Absolutely not. I'll hit the ring and jump from the top of the War Games cage if that happens. Oh, my goodness.
But yeah, I don't know. I get people's criticism of it because of the booking of a Solo Sikoa and where he once was to where he is now. He's been doing great character work. I just think they're pretty lost in where Solo Sikoa is now, and it felt like a little bit just we got Sami. Let's just shift around the title. I don't know.
I foresee maybe him getting it back from Sami, to be honest with you.
Okay,
that wouldn't shock me at all. But seemingly, though, they have been teasing the Wyatt 6 in the background of promos.
Right,
and I think it's going to be a family tree versus the 6, and it's going to be cinema, as the kids say.
Do you think they involve the tag titles? Because Dexter Lumis and Gacy have the titles.
Yeah, why not?
Who goes out the titles on the MFTs?
That's a tough one.
The Congas?
We haven't seen Tama in quite a long time. But would it be Tala Tonga in Tongaloa, or would it maybe Solo then pick one of them to JC Mateo? I don't know. I don't know. Tomato. I don't know. It's a tough one.
I don't know. All right, let's go over to Raw. We have a lot of stuff in what's my favorite story going on right now. We have some big updates in this Io Sky Asuka story. First of all, as we did mention, Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky for the vacated Women's World title will officially happen at WrestlePalooza. Hell yeah. Rocks. Love it. I
don't think that's the final match. I think there will be an addition to that match. I think so.
Like a person?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
As always in wrestling, professional wrestling, cards subject to change. Don't be surprised.
Could you see a Rhea Ripley in there?
I could see maybe a Rhea Ripley. I could see maybe an Empress of Tomorrow.
Sure.
And I think
Fatal 4-Way would rock.
That would rock. I think it would really rock.
Throw Kyrie in there.
Yeah, why not?
So I kind of took notes of kind of everything that happened throughout the night. So first of all, we start out backstage. Io apologizes to Asuka and Kyrie. It's like, hey, I'm sorry that, I didn't want your help. She says, I'm done with Rhea. You don't have to worry about it. Like, you guys are my friends. Sorry about it. Asuka's like, don't worry about it. We got you. We have our match with Raquel and Roxy later. Io's like, do you want help? Asuka's like, no, we're good. I don't want your help. Io's like, okay. Kyrie. Now, for a while, I was kind of unsure of where Kyrie was. At first, I thought Kyrie was also kind of scheming. Now, I'm fully like, oh, Kyrie is so stuck in the middle of this. Kyrie's like facial expressions and like staying with Asuka until you just hear like, Kyrie! It's so fucking good. And then, so she runs off. Io's looking distraught. Anyway, Kyrie and Asuka defeat Raquel and Roxy. Kind of, I don't know if they became the number one contenders in that moment, but they're kind of like, oh, we just won this match. They're former champions. We are gonna go on to win the tag team titles. Io's like, I want to help you with that. Let me help you. They're like, okay, great. Like we'll take your help. This is also all while Io is talking to Nikki, which again is like one of my favorite like recent memes of like Nikki or like Io. It happened I don't know. It was like months ago where Io was like, you're a big influence on me or something to Nikki, whatever moment was. We're like, no, you are who I look up to. Like whatever it was.
Like, what, dude?
I loved it. Yeah. Ironically, but so they interrupt Nikki's chat. Nikki's like, are they with you? And he was like, yeah. And she's like, okay, whatever. Asuka's just acting rude to everyone. So I talk about the tag team titles there. And then they talk about the WrestlePalooza match. They go, you're facing Stephanie again. We're going to help you out. Io again. I appreciate it. We're friends again, but I don't need your help with Stephanie. Asuka gets in her face like, well, you couldn't handle it the last 2 times you faced her, so it looks like you might need a little bit of help. So she's basically like, we're going to help you, and there's nothing you can do about it. It was like, okay. Again, Kyrie, stuck in the middle. Looks really concerned, wants to say something. Kyrie gets sent back. Then we are, let's see, middle of everything, destroy. Okay, then later, we got Rhea Ripley backstage. Asuka gets right in Rhea's face, starts poking her chest and just like, both puffing out their chest. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Sort of thing. Asuka's basically saying, stay away from Io. Stay away. Do not influence her anymore with your tattoos and your black hair dye and your rock and roll music. Again, Kyrie, very, very sad, very scared, to a point where it was like the look and sadness was just like, it was so good. It got me. It was so good. Again, we got a Kyrie. And then so this kind of throughout the whole night, that story is kind of being told in those 3 or 4 different segments. Love it. And I don't think you're crazy in saying that this could be implications for people getting added to
maybe
WrestlePalooza. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if it gets announced maybe next week on Raw. We get a little Rhea versus Asuka straight up. I thought that would have been announced, but I don't know if that could be leaned to. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
I was so surprised that, I mean, of course, the Kabuki Warriors got the tag team match, but then they also got 3 backstage segments throughout the night.
So sick.
I was super supportive of that, and I love the story they're telling. Kairi Sane definitely just a innocent bystander in this like loyal to a fault to Asuka. Tremendous. I can't wait to see where they're going with this.
Me too.
And the end result, whether if they get added to the world title match or maybe Rhea versus Asuka on Raw straight up or at WrestlePalooza, I think that match is has enough star power to be on a PLE, and that'd be great to see Rhea have a match that's not for the world title on a PLE. So that'd be cool too.
I agree.
This ruled. I love this, and super supportive of the Kabuki Warriors, but I don't foresee them beating Alexa and Charlotte for the tag team titles.
That's kind of my next question. Is do you think that means we're gonna get a world tag team title or a women's tag team title match soon / before WrestlePalooza, maybe on WrestlePalooza? That could even be a match for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if I see them winning either.
I know it's
Alexa and Charlotte are killing it. They're great.
It's a tough one, but maybe Io does keep her word and helps them. So that'd be something to like, whoa, Io Sky. I love, because you only see people interfering on the behalf of friends as heels, but like wouldn't be something of like face Io Sky sticks to her word to help her friends and helps them win the tag team titles, but maybe they don't return the favor when it comes for Io's goal of becoming world champion.
Right.
I'm very, very curious to see what happens.
I'm not to put the cart before the horse, but like, I hope they nail this because what they have is so good. I hope they stick the landing, whether this leads to, like I said, a Rhea Asuka match, a women's tag team title match. Hopefully this leads to a big championship match for Io Asuka, maybe at a WrestleMania or like whatever, some sort of big stage, Royal Rumble, whatever.
I haven't been this interested in Asuka since her undefeated streak
so
many years ago. I'm like, this character and what they're cooking up right now is fire.
I think when they're doing a really good job at like conveying, like they're really good at conveying the emotions. Even though Kairi hasn't said much, like her facial expressions are really, really good. No, I love this. I'm excited. This is what I'm looking forward to on Raw every single week.
Almost like Kairi is actually aware of Asuka's true intentions.
Right.
Which is like
she has sympathy for Io, but like you said, she's loyal to a fault to Asuka, which is almost scared of Asuka. She's like, I think you're right. All right, let's move on to we talked about at the beginning of the show. We had a little AJ Styles versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio for the IC title. And just, again, I think it's very fine to reiterate and give credit again. This crowd for AJ, man. Through the commercials, too, just still chanting. Really, really sick. Again, it was Il est vraiment phénoménal. Losing their minds. Fun match. I like this match. Ended with El Grande coming in to help Dom. And then AJ loses. Dom picks up the win, kind of going into the AAA Championship match that will be this Friday against Vikingo. Dom versus Vikingo.
What?
This Friday.
Damn.
Worlds collide. I'm saying that as if I didn't. I just found out like last night.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a time actually while we're talking about this. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think AJ should have taken that. I think Dom should still be the IC title champion. I don't think AJ should have taken it off of Dom in this moment. However, I just do think there were opportunities to utilize an AJ Styles match in France, be it with a John Cena or winning. Like if AJ Styles won in France, the place would have, it didn't even matter who was it, put him against Tozawa. The place would have lost their mind if he won. But we got El Grande. It's a lot of heat. It's a lot of, whatever. But I don't know. How do you feel?
Second ever Intercontinental title match ever in France. The first one being Shawn Michaels versus Bob Backlund in 1993. I thought that was a really cool stat that I think Cole or Graves mentioned. Great smooth work in this match. Nice head scissors from Dom to AJ on the outside. I think Dom actually really started in this match. Yeah. And then a new move alert from Dom, the Mullet-O-Matic.
Yeah. I like it.
R.I.P. Edge, the Edge-O-Matic. But, things have to change sometimes. People adopt moves, and I love that for Dom. Dom, keep naming your moves. Keep naming your moves. Make everything the Domarana. Like make everything you know. And then of course hashtag thank you El Grande. El Grande. Thing is, I get the El Grande hate and the tiresomeness of this, and of course another interfering finish. However, though, they have been teasing this alliance week after week on Raw, to Finn's dismay and disapproving. But like, yeah, Dom has developed that relationship with El Grande, and here it paid off greatly. Yeah. El Grande with the interference and the help of the win. I hear what you're saying with the whole. It would have been really nice for AJ to get a win here, but also. Yeah. Just as good as the pop.
You're right.
And maybe, though, I would say this match definitely should have been on Clash in Paris. But
yes,
hey, who's to say,
At least they're like both shows were in Paris. You still got like the same audience to an extent. I just want them to just take the next step in the story. I mean, like, I don't know what's going on with Chad. I don't know if he's like injured. Like, I don't know. But like I'd be more like, can we just finally get to like the identity crisis stuff or Chad Gable involvement? Where's Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate been? They showed up once as El Grande, and like that's weird. It. I think they might have popped up like another time in AAA. But
I thought a faction was forming for sure of El Grandes. Yeah.
It's like I just want to get to I want to get to the story of what the El Grande stuff is, and again, I don't know if it's being halted because of maybe a Chad Gable injury. Like, I don't really know what's going on.
I'll tell you what, though. I think Kaiser is thriving in this role as El Grande. I think he's better than Chad as El Grande.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. He's very, he has I think it's also because of his stature too. He's just very goofy in it to an extent.
And then him at Triple Mania, I think for his entrance, he sang in Spanish, which I'm like,
really?
For his entrance, I'm like, what a beast, dude.
He's got it in his bag. Also, long Friday night ahead of us. Worlds Collide airing 10 p.m. following SmackDown.
Ooh.
So what's that? 8 to midnight?
Might have to take a bump of my own to stay up or something. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Joking. We don't promote drug use on this show.
How Worlds Collide like a 2-hour show, right?
I'd imagine so.
How long was I feel like the last one was like 3 hours. I don't remember. I want to look at while we're here. We have a couple more things.
I'll drink a flat white ode to John Cena and this little coffee reference, and have a nice little late night coffee and stay up for Worlds Collide. I don't mind that. Free on YouTube, I assume. So
I think so. The only match announced is Vikingo versus Dom, the AAA Mega Championship.
Well, we're gonna get Mr. Iguana. We're gonna get all the stars of AAA. Maybe we'll see Omos too. Omos won that that Battle Royal at Triple Mania. So
I'm actually really curious why there's no more matches announced. I don't know. Weird.
The show sells itself, my friend.
I guess so. I would love to go to a AAA show.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, we are gonna end. We have the big Punk promo, and then that's all we got until we head over to the Patreon. Didn't plug that. Patreon.com/ I know I forget every time. Patreon.com/ Stache Club Wrestling to listen to us for a bonus hour. We have some questions from you guys. We're chatting about just random stuff. So head over there. That's a plug. Not going to get a whole lot this week in terms of new patrons. Didn't put it at the beginning. But CM Punk promo. CM Punk comes out, calls out Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins' music hits. Becky Lynch comes out, does does the dance and does everything, which that was a nice touch. Again, I made note of it earlier, but Becky notices the AJ Lee chant. The back and forth is pretty like... they tried to tell the story of why Becky is involved past her just being married to Seth Rollins. And like a lot of it, which it makes sense, a lot of it is like, oh, this whole feud between you two hasn't just affected my husband, it's affected me. I have to listen to it all the time. You're the one that's always being brought up. And, during my matches when you were gone, during my matches, trying to help the women's division, CM Punk chants were heard. To which CM Punk was like, I'm the best in the world. They chant my name when I'm here, when I'm not here, when I'm champion, when I'm not here. It was a lot of Becky really just sticking up for her husband, saying like, you're not gonna, it's we're married. It's, you're not gonna be the only one going at him. A lot of Punk being like, yeah, get out of my way. I don't care about you. Like, I only care about Seth. Doesn't involve you. And then, if you can tell, I didn't take down specific notes for this back and forth. And then it was a big beat I wanted to hit. Sorry, I'm blanking.
Not the man you were expecting, huh?
I guess that's yeah. But then so the big one, which I did like this, is Punk was like, oh, Seth, has to, he hides behind Braun Breaker, he hides behind Paul Heyman, he hides behind Bronson Reed. Now he's hiding behind his wife. But I know you're more than just, I don't want to deduce your existence down just being a wife. You are a generational superstar. You're entertaining. You're multi-talented. You're this, you're that. But you have a shit taste in men. You married a bum, which I thought was a great line. Becky going like, you'll never be my husband. He's hot. He's jacked. He's so yeah. Anyway, Seth ends up coming out. Becky kind of like steps in his way and whatever. Seth ends up going back into the curtain. And then, this is how Becky was laying in slaps, dude. Becky was just, come on.
I feel like the first one was pretty rough.
That first one I thought was a punch.
Yeah.
That first one I thought was like a, and then again, this kind of fueled a lot of the fire of an AJ Lee return. He's, Punk's getting fucking pissed. And then he goes, I'm going to make sure Seth Rollins regrets ever cashing in on me. I'm going to make sure you're going to regret ever laying a hand on me, which got the crowd was just like, oh yeah. Oh, who's going to defend Punk? His wife. It all plays into it.
I regret putting my hand on you too, you nasty sweat. You're disgusting. I still have your ball sweat on my hoodie, which I was like, wait.
What was that? What does that mean?
Because she low blowed him. Last night while wearing the hoodie. So I was confused when I first heard it. I'm like, wait.
I didn't know.
I was like,
what that meant.
I was like, what were they up to earlier? What the hell does that mean? But then I put one and one together. I'm like, wait, okay, yeah, you did low blow him at the pay-per-view.
That's a funny way of making reference to that. I still have your balls sweat on my hoodie. Okay.
I gotta take a bath and bleach, she said. I'm like, oh my God, so funny.
I loved this. I thought it was great. Becky was annoying, rightfully so. She's like this annoying shit talking heel. I love her talking so much. She knows Punk's not gonna hit her, so she talks all this shit. Then finally, someone's gonna come in that can hit her and defend Punk. It's a lot of stuff we talked about earlier in terms of just AJ Lee coming back, but like, I liked Becky in this role. What'd you think? I
really enjoyed this too. This was intense. Got me fired up for the potential mixed tag team match that we're all fantasy booking in our heads.
Right.
I thought this was really good. And I'll tell you what, the crowd is chanting for a GTS. And I know Punk is chivalrous or
sure.
A man's man. You don't put your hands on a feminist. You don't put your hands on a woman. But I'm pretty sure he looked up to Stone Cold Steve Austin growing up, and there wasn't a man or a woman that Stone Cold wouldn't put in the dirt and stomp a mud hole. And
I instantly saw people like tweeting videos of Randy Orton RKOing women.
But maybe Punk's different, and he's definitely doesn't want to, and like Punk said, respects Becky Lynch, and didn't want to put a hand on her, whatever. But I think a GTS to Becky Lynch would have probably
been crazy,
unglued the roof of that place. But I think obviously we're saving that for Punk's gonna give the sign to her, potentially his wife, to go take care of that business. So light it up, baby. Oh, it's gonna be unreal. It's going to be unreal. But this is good.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
Yeah.
All right, to wrap up things with the main event. Main event was a fun match. It was a good match.
I was happy it was a clean finish.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we got post-match beatdown. I think the story coming out of this is we got a Jimmy Uso.
My nephew's favorite wrestler.
Oh, yeah? Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, right. You tell me that. SmackDown. Jimmy comes in to save Jay. Jay's like, he's pissed. And I don't know, it seems like we're getting maybe call it a reformation of the Usos. I mean, Roman Reigns is still involved in all this, so I think we might be getting a little, which is crazy, it's nostalgia at this point, but a little OG Bloodline reunion once Roman Reigns comes back, and maybe this is some sort of War Games implications. I don't know. But yeah.
Back to the tag team division you go, Jey Uso. Back there and never return.
I saw something, which I didn't think these guys were at this point in their career, but I did see something that said, they said that when they retire, they want their last run to be back as a tag team. Which I don't think they're at retirement point, but like,
Maybe sooner than we think, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see them. I don't know. I could see them either. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to see. I mean, what I want. I've been saying this since like the get go is I want 2025 heel 2025 face Usos versus 2025 heel New Day. Give me that. Give me one more of those, and just
And of course, the Lucha Brothers once they maybe form to then do the rounds too and face. We get some dream matches with those tag teams that you listed too. So.
Well, folks, unless you have anything else of note, that's the show for me. If we're headed over Patreon,
yeah, I have some AEW quibs, but we can save that maybe for the page.
Anything big? So I know. I mean, admittedly, there's no good time to put out this podcast because I like putting it out on Tuesdays because we're hot off of Raw, but also we're as far away from the previous AEW, so it's like talking about AEW too much. It only, we only have only a few hours until Dynamite's on tonight,
it's old
right?
news. Or we Collision, which I don't watch. I think you're in the same camp, but like I'm sure stuff happened there too. So it's like it is tough to try to talk about that. But Hook is back.
Oh, thank you for bringing it up. Yeah. Thank you for bringing it up. No, I'm glad we're talking about it because I also love Hook. I think I'm just as disappointed as you are that the Action Bronson theme is gone, but I do love the new theme.
I need to hear it more.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm still a bit devastated about it. That was my number one song played on Spotify when he used it. I'm like, dude, I love that song. You don't even know me. Oh, banger. But yeah, super happy he's back. There are some people saying like, oh, why isn't he going after Claudio after Claudio took him out? Well, Hook did come back earlier, I think at All In. And took care of Claudio then. Okay. So the fact that he came back here and did what he did was what it was. But Hook's back, baby.
Yeah,
and what a cool, intimate arena. AEW using the ECW arena, and of course, friend to the show, Alex Lehos, Queen of the Meme. Queen of the Meme.
That's pretty good.
The meme going around the world, lusting for, again, don't blame her.
I get it.
Powerhouse Hobbs. Kudos to her. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, so funny.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad we're and even like so I saw the I forget it was on Dynamite or if this was like I think this was like a post clip of them honoring Taz in the 2300 arena. Everyone wearing orange. I guess he's gonna be inducted into that arena's Hall of Fame, and yeah, just kind of giving him and like having like Hook come out with also Taz's wife, them all stand there as a family, giving it, everyone's hugging them. Tony Khan just saying thank you, and Taz getting a couple minutes on the mic to just kind of say his 2 cents. And it's seemingly being, Taz even saying expected. It seemed like it was a nice surprise and whatever. A great moment.
Someone was cutting onions when I was watching that. Someone was cutting onions. It was really nice. And of course, an ode to the old ECW days. The main event was, I think, Claudio versus Darby. Claudio throwing Darby out of the ring onto the announce table. A little ode to Bam Bam and Spike Dudley. That was really cool. Yeah, and I think they're back there this Wednesday too. I think they're doing arena.
I want to say it's this Wednesday and maybe one more Wednesday after. Okay. But I love it. And like a lot of people like. It's the AE, not just bring this into like a trying to offend AEW hate or whatever, because but like seeing stuff like this that's so cool, and people give Tony Khan shit, but the fact that he takes this moment out of his time, or not out of his time, but out of like takes the moment for everyone to be like, hey, we're gonna do this special moment. Like WWE doesn't you don't see sure it happens every once in a blue moon, but that felt like a real AEW family, like you said, more intimate moment that like Tony Khan did, and it seemed very genuine. Tony Khan felt excited and proud to be able to do something like that for a Taz. And also, I love that they're running these arenas. Like, sure, our bigger arenas, we know from my GM bros, right? A bigger arena is more revenue, and sure, if you can sell out a bigger arena, it is technically more successful just by numbers standards.
And like the optics of them going from the O2 arena in London to then the next show being here, sure, but still.
But the arenas are so sick. The fact that they're running shows in a Hammerstein ballroom, or it's like some of these other ballroom sort of places, even just the 23, or is it 3200 or 23? 3200, right?
3200.
I made a mistake earlier. 3200 arena, which I've stepped foot in that arena. I never told you. I was in for WrestleMania. At WrestleMania 40.
Might be the 2300 arena, actually. You might be right about
I'm actually not sure. It might be just dyslexia coming in. I'm trying to picture it on the wall. But Busted Open I've told this story before. Busted Open had a... Oh, it is 2300. Really? I would have bet my life that you were right. But Busted Open was having a... I've told this story before, but Mark Henry was staying in the same hotel as us. And we met his son, Jacob Henry. Super, super, super nice. Both of them are super, super, super sweet. And anyway, we're talking to Mark Henry a little bit. Mark Henry's like, oh, Busted Open is having like a little party at the 2300 Arena. You guys should come. Like, awesome, cool. Which even just that, I've kind of brushed over that interaction. But the fact that like we talked to Mark Henry and he was like, you guys should come to the thing is like just fucking insane.
Unreal.
So we went there. And saw a Sandman come out. They just did like an episode of Busted Open. It was just cool to be in it. But anyway,
Did the Sandman pour beer on you?
No, on me personally. I know. It's something you always next show. But yeah. Anyway, my point is like being in that arena and then just learning more of the history and just like even being in the lobby where it's like like the being at the bar area and going into the to the area where they have the ring and like. Just it's a cool feeling. It would have been nice to be in that arena for. I think that arena might have ran a show that weekend, but I didn't go to it. But anyway, it was just cool to be in that arena. And then to my point of this AEW running these arenas is like it's fucking sick. It looks cool on TV than being in these like small arenas. I went to a Collision maybe a year ago with some friends, and they ran it at MGM Fenway. And it's just fucking cool being like up in these like theater rafters watching wrestling and like
with affordable price tickets.
That too, right? Man. And like yes, like I want AEW to be as successful as ever. I want them to be able to run a 30,000 person whatever. But I'm taking the route of appreciating it. Because, like, were people giving ECW shit? I'm sure they were when they were running Hammerstein Ballroom. You know what I mean? Like, it's a cool, more not everything needs to be like the Avengers. Not everything needs to be Marvel.
It kind of reminds me of how I feel. I'd say it's like 50-50 with me with rap and rock. Mm-hmm. But I'm a big rap fan, and anytime I've gone to a rap show that was like at the TD Garden, bigger venue. Never hits as hard as a rap show that's like underground, small venue.
Yes.
And you feel the energy, you hear the bars, you hear the. So like it's just goes to that.
I mean, even just think of like as you were saying, you had so much fun at like the Focus Pro show a week ago.
Bro, I was in the ring, essentially. Like I was like in the match. It was one of my favorite wrestling shows ever.
Yeah, like I love the intimacy part, and like like I said, people think that if you're not filling out a football stadium, you're not successful. And it's like no, I'm appreciating AEW for being where it is now because we can have these cooler spots and these cheaper tickets and like whatever and. I don't know. It just has a cool factor that like I don't know. That was my soapbox about to defend the arena to no one. But yeah, is there anything else?
Cope and Cage FTR is going to be happening. Yep. I know you're going crazy about that. It was cool to see Kenny Omega rescue.
I was kind of joking, but I am excited for that. That'll be fun.
Kenny Omega came to the rescue for Page to defend him against the Don Callis family. I thought it was a really cool moment. And I took a break from drooling over the tag team match featuring Megan Bayne and Harley Cameron to tweet out, I'd love to get I would definitely get a Megan Bayne tattoo.
I saw
and then lo and behold, Megan Bayne calls me out on it and goes, what'd she say? She said,
prove it.
Prove it, which I'm like, I basically was then looking for tattoo artist in that moment when she sent that tweet. I couldn't believe she got back to me. And then I had never gotten a tattoo before and I'm heavily considering it. But then Joey fucking Janela, who I guess that's her boyfriend. So I didn't know that. I thought they maybe were separated, but he responds to me, goes, do it no balls, which then freaking makes me go, now I'm not doing it. Then I actually responded to him, be like, you want to go together? We'll make some content out of it.
That's I didn't see that part. That's
didn't
funny.
Get back to me, but I was so dead set on doing it until Joey had to say something and be like, do it no balls. And I'm like, dude, I get it. That's your girl. I'm saying I'll get a tattoo over her, whatever. But I don't know. I'm still considering it. Love Megan Bayne. Huge supporter of Megan Bayne.
Your first tattoo being Megan Bayne would be so sick. That'd be so crazy.
So if anyone's out there that is good at designing tattoos, I asked the GBT and they pumped out some bullshit. So I don't know. She does have a really cool T-shirt design that she with her holding a bunch of skulls and stuff, and her looking like a Greek goddess. Looks like
what's your vision here? Where on your body are you getting it?
Well, because then I was joking with her. I responded to her being like, okay, are we doing Steve-O back tattoo where I get a life-size Megan Bayne with a 2 thumbs up, or Undertaker neck tattoo Sarah, I just get Megan Bayne on my neck. But like realistically, that seems to me like, again, because that's like that's a pretty dedicated tattoo to get. Maybe on my calf.
I was gonna say it sounds like a leg tattoo.
Maybe a thigh tattoo.
Yeah.
Maybe just an MB with a heart on my butt. Who knows? Who knows? I'm still very open to getting it, but yeah, I was a bit.
You could even go a little subtle and maybe just do like the wings. So it's kind of like if you know thing. Like most people think, like, oh, it's an angel.
It feels like kind of a cop out though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a huge Megan Bayne fan, clearly, but yeah, that was such a funny interaction for her to actually see that and then respond to me. Feel pressure to get it for sure, but
like even if you just got like the crown, or like you know what I mean, or whatever. I can't get a good picture, but you know what I mean.
I kind of want her on my body.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
But yeah, no, definitely. I'm considering it. I need to find a really good design, and yeah, definitely considering it. But Janela had to come in and ruin it.
I know of the person that did my. If you end up being serious about it,
okay.
The person that did my Rey Mysterio tattoo was like known for doing wrestling tattoos.
Oh wow!
So I can hook you up with him. Because he does he does wrestling tattoos.
I would love to,
but
absolutely.
The style's American traditional. So if you don't want American traditional, he might not be your guy.
I'm a virgin when it comes to tattoos, so I really don't have a knowledge thing. But I think I'm definitely leaning towards doing it.
I'll show you some of. Yeah. I'm gonna end up. This is not gonna be good for podcasting. But I'll show you after some of his stuff.
Cool.
And, he rocks. But I've only gotten one thing done by him. But anyway. That's the show, folks. Thank you for being here. Head over to patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. We're going to take some of your Q's and give them some A's and kind of continue on this kind of, I think we kind of already hit a brain streamline of stuff. So we're going to keep on continuing that over on Patreon. And Jimmy Two Belts signing off here, and we'll see you over on the Patreon, huh? If you can manage to put down one belt, I know how hard it is for you. See you over there. Bye. You're looking for a college football team?
I'm on the search for a college football team. Actually,
the 2 least successful Shield members trying to recreate their glory days by making a new faction that's Timu Shield. And it's like,
what the
comparing the Death Riders and the Vision to they're just trying to recreate, like, the clothes you choose to put on your body. It's an opportunity to express yourself. It's an opportunity to show people what you care about. And I think using that tool to continue to tell a story in wrestling of who this character is and whatever. Also, do you remember the episode of Fantasy Factory? Whoa, good pull. When Rob tagged with Roddy Piper, that shit was awesome. Oh yeah.